science. It's not haphazard. It's not random. It's technique. It's formula. It's bringing all of these different things into a central point of view. Third eye mentality. Third eye mentality is different from opening your third eye. The third eye mentality is where you see all things converging. In your mind's eye, you condition yourself that everything means something, and I just got to find out how it all connects. Third eye vision. When you open your third eye, it'll do it automatically on its own. It'll do it automatically on its own. So they be telling us, oh, he's a false Christ. They'll tell you in a minute. But they never tell you that the only reason that they know is because they know Christ is a woman, Isis, queen of heaven and earth. And that the Son of Man is called the Son of Man as a derogatory term to make mockery of not having a biological father when she produced him, Heru, the widow's son, born without the aid of a man. The only one born wise enough to be the self-raised master, the master of masters, embodying the full wisdom of the ancient wisdom king himself, Thoth. I'm just telling you how the game go. So put your preacher on the spot. Go sit down with him and watch this. If he went to Bible school, make him watch it. And say, why you didn't tell me about the ancient tablets? And why you didn't tell me about the Babylonian doctrines of the Mishnah and the Talmud that influenced the Old Testament, of the old liar who was a liar in the beginning and there was no truth in him, who decided to subjugate the women. He decided to subjugate the women as a rebellious act because he couldn't produce a child on his own like the queen of heaven and earth did. He felt jealous. So he wanted to make a move for the throne as if the Galactic Council was going to sit there and let him do that, which would have been a damn fool to do some stuff like that. He got his ass kicked. But they waited good till their son was out of position because they know he was going to kick their ass. You know, and so that left a vacancy because the war broke out and it was so bad they had to quarantine the Earth zone and strip everybody of their memory until they try to get back some order to the chaos that was established when Enlil tried to move for the throne of the queen of heaven and earth with his punk ass. And he called himself Yahweh in the Old Testament. In the New Testament, he was trying to offer the son the world in order to kiss his ass because he know that at some point he gonna have to bow down too. So he want to try to offer him the whole world. It's all right there in your book. It ain't no secret. It ain't like I'm coming up with some new and unfounded information. It's right there in the book. It's not a secret. It's just that they told you to look at it how they tell you to look at it from according to the Nicene Creed. Why would they write a creed on something that's innate in you? They can't do it, you know. So when you see when it say Paul saying that the Christ found it not blasphemy to exalt his thinking into the thinking of God, or to make himself one with God in mind and in spirit, he's connecting with his mama. Women have the ability to connect with their child where they can literally be at home washing dishes and they can be seeing everything their child doing at the park. They can see everything their child doing at the park. They don't even have to leave. But they told you to disconnect from your child. So this is why we need to restore the doula center, which, let me show you what they did. In a doula center, women give birth. Before they wipe the child off, that baby is on the teat. Only thing they do is clean their mouth out and slap them on the titty. They don't look for a cry response. They look for the suckle response. That's the bonding response. The cry response is the barrier response. It's the fear response, the terror response. And so at the doula center, they don't want the baby to cry. They suckle and bind with mama. So they take the baby, turn them upside down, open up their mouth, clear their pathway, never give them a chance to cry, and stick them on the teeth. Then they wait until the baby get done suckling and fall asleep and start cleaning the baby and the mother up. That's the bonding period. Now, this is how you test this. Call your OBGYN, your prenatal doctor, or whatever field they in, and you ask one question. What happens when the mother looks directly into the child's eyes directly after birth while breastfeeding? That doctor, if they are not going to lie to you, is going to exactly tell you this. That is the strongest bonding portion for a mother and child at that moment. The sooner, the better. Then, if you ask a biochemist what happens in this process, they're going to say, well, the mother is already in oxytocin overdrive. That's oxytocin is the chemical used to cause the contractions of the uterus in order to cause birth. And the areola of the woman stimulates the biological production of the oxytocin. And so while she already in overdrive, oxytocin pairs in the brain with something called beta endorphin and neuroepinephrine and creates a euphoria that they call absolute unconditional love. When the child and the mother bond, they both get to connect on that level. So the doctors now grab the baby, slap him up, pop him on the ass, pain response, fear response. He automatically in the state of terror. He producing adrenaline before he ever knew what his mother's eyes looked like. Before the sensory nerves in his lips locked on to the sensory nerves in her teeth that creates a neurological response in the mother that connects her to the child through him sucking on her areola because of the oxytocin beta endorphin response and what it does to the neuroelectrical pathways between the areola and the child's lips. This is what makes kissing sacred. Between the areola and the child's lips, it creates an arcing effect of bonding energy. Now the baby's brain is producing oxytocin, the same chemical as the mother. When they look eye to eye, now they soul to soul, because the eyes are the windows to what? They become one after birth. But you don't want that. Y'all like it the way it is with the torture of the children and all this stuff. Hey. So I ain't gonna hold y'all with my diatribe. I just know what the problem is and I know what the solution is. And whenever they get ready to come and read my books, I'm waiting on them and they dragging their feet, which is fine, but there's a whole lot of people out there that don't have to be suffering right now. They're suffering. And I got the team on standby, you know, whatever. I gotta wait on them to make their moves because they don't know if they really ready as they say they was. I guess supposed to be laying it down like smooth shit, smooth operator. I ain't supposed to be doing that in the secret, so they can keep doing their secret squirrel shit. I'm coming out and flat out telling them what it is. I ain't doing nothing in secret. I ain't supposed to be hiding and ducking. I'm supposed to just come out here, tell you what it is, and do what I do. But y'all getting scared. You know, people get scared to do their part. So now you know all of those fake Christ, Jim Jones and David Koresh and Son of Sam and whoever else they want to name as a Christ type are discovered because Christ is a woman, queen of heaven and earth. Son of man being me. It's only one resurrection, and it's called an Assyrian resurrection. Now, if y'all need some reference for that, just let me know, because I can drop a ton of references on you. And these references is referencing material that predates your Bible by at least a couple thousand years. Now, if they tell you that I'm making this shit up, is what you ask, was you there? When it was 122 degrees and some motherfucker hanging out in the sun under a tree, ask them if they was there, because I was there. I could tell them what direction the wind was blowing. That's what you do. You ask them if they was. I was there, and I know some more people that was there too. And they tell you the same thing I'm telling you now. I was there. I seen it. Now, I done read the book, Crack the Code. The devil waiting. He got his bags at the door. These conscious niggas won't let him leave. No, he done already been ousted. I done cleared everything from 9th dimension to 4th dimension. Now I'm just waiting on you 3-dimension minded mortals to see what's in front of y'all face. And then we can make some progress. So, if y'all got any questions, it'll be a good time to start putting them on the screen, and then I can deal with them. Otherwise, I'm just going to start winding down and clocking out. So, come on with y'all questions. And thank you, Carmen, Don Anderson. Yeah. It tell you in the book that the enmity was put between the serpent seed and the woman seed, right? And it never tell you where they went. Where did the serpent seed go? In order for the serpent and the woman's seed to be at odds, they have to be able to interact somewhere. But it didn't say the enmity would be between the woman and the serpent. It said between the seed. And the word that they're talking about when they're saying seed is that which is in the blood. So the enmity between the woman's seed and the serpent seed is in the blood. It's manifest as what you call your RH positive, RH negative conflict, in which the woman had to have these special shots to be able to carry the child because her body develops an immunity to the child or a resistance to the child, and it'll spontaneously abort. The hardest thing for a woman to give birth to is a male child because her body had to be compatible with a Y chromosome. And most women, even if they're compatible once, they won't be compatible twice with that Y. So if they're not producing a female, they'll have a hard pregnancy or they have to get a shot. And it's a whole lot of science go to that, and I'm not going to get into all of that. But the bonding between the parent and child is part of breaking up the family. So that's the difference in making these children sociopathic versus socially healthy. So you can disrupt their pattern or you can enhance their pattern. When you need a group of women, especially when you reconstructing the broken system, you need a group of women willing to work together and to create a bubble where when the kids come around, they feel so much love and so much peace that they don't really like to leave. And that make the optimum learning environment for them. Yeah. Anyway, so when that conflict between the seeds, it's also characters. Now, what does RH positive and RH negative indicate? Humans are a hybrid of mammal and reptile humanoid types. And the reptilian type had a very selfish nature, self-centered, greedy, me, and felt entitled. Whereas the mammalian type pack animal behavior, all for the collective, and the collective working together in order to secure the future of the youth. So if you watch pack animals and how they protect the children or the offspring, and then you watch how reptiles don't behave in the same manner, you understand the difference in the psychology of a reptilian being and a mammalian being. Also, those Rh negatives, that's the nanobots, because you got to remember they use science to alter the DNA in order to make what they call Eve compatible with Adam. They did that through nanotechnology to stimulate artificial reproduction. And so they basically mixed us with an android, what they call a golem, that's made out of a combination of sorcery and science. And the golem, what they call Adam, and he was made as a organo biological nanophalanx technology. You have to look all those up separately and then put them all together in order to know what I'm talking about. And anyway, the offspring of Adam are emotional vampires or energy vampires. And the females have a very oily textures, vaginal fluid, whereas those are the more mammalian type that's not of the imposter reptilian stock. There's more consistency of water without an infection being present. The fluids are more consistent with water. Some of them, those who are of the noblest of blood, meaning they got the most of the bloodline of the grail, those women's vaginal fluids may even smell like essential oils. If she tune in to who she is, her fluids will change and they will develop a scent, like essential oil type scent. All these things gonna take place because the spell is broken. I broke the curse. So that's over with. It's just a matter of when they want to make this stuff happen, and we can get it on the road. But all of y'all got a different ability, and many of us don't know what our abilities are. Study your interests. Ask yourself, what am I interested in without nobody ever showing me first? Like, what is the thing I walked past and it caught my attention and I can't get it off my mind? That'll lead you a clue to what your X-Men ability gonna be. Some people's gonna be running fast. They seen track the first time, couldn't take their eyes off of it. They're gonna be running a 30-second mile or some crazy stuff like that. Then you're gonna have some that, I don't know, might be able to levitate. I don't know. I don't know what they're gonna be. But I know we gonna all have different abilities. And these different abilities, hey Becky Stryker, these different abilities are gonna be expressed according to our interests, because you had to get an interest in something to give you the ability to enhance what you didn't know you had. So you become interested or attracted to something in order to allow you to learn how to use that as an ability. You know. Okay, so now y'all seen in the book, there was a guy walking around on earth, but Christ was still in wherever, Crystal City, the New Jerusalem. And this guy walking around the earth read the book, did the work, right? Then Christ came, dressed like a bride. It said right in the book. It's not hard to find. Said twice, as a matter of fact. And in another place, it says that This is the wife of the Lamb, the one who was slain. He was standing over there getting crowned King of King already. He was crowned King of King, Lord of Lords. But it ain't official until she came down later on and say it's official. It's right there in the book. Same when you read Revelations, chapter 21. And I saw a new earth, a new heaven and a new earth. For the first heaven and the first earth had passed away, and there was no more sea. And I, John, saw the holy city, New Jerusalem, coming down from God out of heaven. The New Jerusalem came from God. God sent New Jerusalem, prepared as a bride, adorned for her husband. Now he just gave it a feminine form, and she getting ready to have a husband. Then over here, verse 9, and there came unto me one of the seven angels, which had the seven vials full of the seven last plagues, and talked with me, saying, Come hither, I will show thee the bride, the Lamb's wife. Sound like two people to me, because the Lamb gonna have a wife. But the wife ain't got here yet, because the wife got to come down with the New Jerusalem. And what else to say? And having the glory of God and her light, and her light was like unto a stone most precious, even like a jasper stone, clear as crystal. That's verse 11, 21:11. It didn't say his light, it said her light. And I keep trying to tell y'all, this is how they always knew that all of those false Christs been false Christs, because the real Christ is a woman, and the only one going to tell you the truth is her son. So who telling you the truth? I'm showing it to you. Verse 11, having the glory of God, and her light was like unto a stone, a stone most precious, even like a jasper stone, clear as crystal. That means she going to be glowing. It had a wall great and high, and had 12 gates. Now they're describing the ship. That's pretty cool. Now y'all know something. Now, when they think I was joking about the auto workers, that's back here. That's in verse 22. And I said that don't nothing move until the auto workers get compensated correctly first. That's right here. That's Revelations 22. He said, he that is unjust. Wait a minute. Verse 22. And behold, I come quickly, and my reward is with me, to give every man according as his work shall be. I am Alpha and Omega, the beginning and the end, the first and the last. Blessed are they that do his commandments, and they may have right to the tree of life, and may enter in through the gates to the city. But it tell you right there, and behold, I come quickly, and my reward, that's 22:12. My reward is with me. There you again. See? Now, I read this book so much, I get tired of going back through it, but I always have to go back to it because it's the perfect reference for people who don't understand when I start talking about Thoth, Jehuti, and Osiris and Horus. I can use the story. It's the same story. All this is straight out of the hieroglyphics, straight out of the writing on the wall. And we used it to veil the conjure. The conjure it's the same conjure they use for the liberation of Haiti. It's just a bigger scale, and it required people from different parts of the world. And that's why you might hear me say I'm Sun Wukong today, Hanuman tomorrow, Nimrod the next day, and Thoth another day, and Quetzalcoatl another day. All that's true, because all that energy had to be concentrated into one form in order to make the full manifestation of the chosen one. It's just the way it is. It ain't nothing personal. Okay, I'm trying to see if anybody got any questions before I wrap this one up. So okay, Juanita, we'll talk, sweetie. Trying to make sure I got everybody here. Hey, Becky, you got any questions, sweetie? All right. Okay, so
call from +1313
I'm gonna wrap this up right here. I don't got any questions. I'm gonna look one more time, and then I'm gonna go and wrap this up. But I just want to tell y'all a little bit about who was who, what your church should know or knew. All this stuff is right there in plain sight. Ain't none of it hidden. It's not a secret. They just made you overlook it because they kept skipping it themselves because they didn't want you to ask no questions, because then they'd be forced to have to find you some real answers. So now you take this video, you sit there with your preacher, and you say, what is he talking about? Explain it to me. Tell me he wrong and show me how. And they're not going to be able to do that because they're going to be stuck that somebody told you the truth openly in public, and it ain't hidden, and that ISIS is Jesus. Hail Mary, a mother of God. Mary is ISIS in the Hail Mary prayer, just so you know. Mary in the Kabbalah is Sophia, right? Which is ISIS, which is the highest point in the Kabbalistic. So Sophia and Ein Sof in another tradition, and this is the wisdom traditions. The wisdom traditions around the world, all of them recognize her. In India, she's Kali, the great mother. She will tear your tail up as well as she will nurse your ass back to health when she get done, just so you know who mama is. When she say do something, she said do it. She ain't got time to be playing with you, you know. And all over the world, you know, you're going to find the same basic people in different storylines, but it's all the same. It's all the same. Oh, Juanita, you definitely got to watch this on replay. It's a lot of stuff I talked about in here. Some places I wasn't intending to really go that deep in, but I had to let y'all know y'all was being lied to and how to determine who was telling y'all the truth and who's telling y'all a lie. Now, you got certain ministers, and let me give you an example. Let's take Chuck Missler. Now, Chuck Missler know the truth. And what he do? He bookend it in. He bookend with the script. Start with the script, the Jesus Christ, Lord and Savior bullshit script, and the end with the Jesus Christ, Lord and Savior bullshit script. But between that, the two bullshits, he gonna give you the whole truth about what he talking about based on the scientific methods of research and study. He gonna break it all the way down to you before he go back to that bullshit outro. Watch what I tell you. Just watch him. You'll see what I'm talking about. But then you have those that want you stuck in the program, like Pat Roberts or one of them, where they Jesus Christ you every other word, like that's gonna make you send them more money in the donations, which I guess it does. It seemed to be working for them, but they keep selling you the same script. It's a script. It's a program. It's written on a leaflet. It's called a Nicene Creed. And when they go to Bible school, it teaches them how to teach the Nicene Creed. It's a little bitty pamphlet, a couple pages long. You know, the Catholic Church got the actual minutes, but they don't want to release them to the public because they don't want y'all to know what the threats were, who fought, who died, because there's a lot of people died at that council that y'all don't know about. When they tell y'all that the libraries in Alexandria was burned up, that's not true. All those books are also in the Vatican Library, that they kept the scrolls. Some of them we escaped to different parts of Africa in the Far East with them and put them in sacred holding places until such time as we can reclaim Earth from the imposters. Well, that certain time is now. So I'm gonna leave y'all with that. I don't see no questions I need to ask, so I must have did a pretty good job today. Right, Percy. So stay focused. Don't let them keep tricking y'all. Watch for these fake shootings that they doing. That's one of the warning signs that we have, that they still trying to put a last ditch effort for power and it ain't gonna work. But don't participate in the BS, and be safe and keep your head up and stay strong and all that good stuff. Don't fall for the okie doke.